what's your takeaway, other than valuations are high, from these numbers that we've gotten?
Well, obviously, really intriguing that cash pile is so big now, but it's more about kind of some of the exploring deals that they have been looking at and kind of have shied away from. So clearly, there's still kind of a lot going on. You know, we've had subdued deal activity around the world, but there have been, you know, deals go through, and indeed, Berkshire has still been spending money in certain areas. But of course, it does speak to not just elevated valuations in the equity market, but in some of the other markets. You know, there are still number of areas in private markets that are particularly testing. So I think it tells us a few things really, but one is that there was a very notable comment about opportunities outside of the US being essentially zero, really not finding much opportunity beyond the borders of the US. Japan, of course, has been one of the big focuses for Berkshire, and that's been an interesting market for the way that they've been buying businesses there, but also for the broader impact that international capital flowing into Japan now has become really a huge story. And of course, the Nikkei taking out the historical levels last week shows you just how much of a change in sentiment there have been to Japanese businesses in recent times. And Berkshire is obviously one huge component of that. They see and continue to see some really interesting ideas there. So I think Japan still stands out as a key market for them there.
Yeah, and in Japan, as well as places like Australia, is interesting. We have seen deal activity picking up a little bit. What does it tell you about, I guess, broader risk appetite right now?
We have, haven't we, Heidi? We've seen some deals kind of coming through in the early part of this year. I mean, we're only kind of, you know, just almost getting into March, so just a couple of months. It is still early, but there have been some pretty notable transactions, and especially if you look here, you know, some of the Japanese M&A coming into Australia, Renesas, that deal, and indeed with some of these businesses that Berkshire's bought in Japan, these trading houses, that's an $8 billion investment now, and you know, they're there for a far longer term turnaround story there. And of course, a lot of the reasons why they're there is because of some of these long-term changes in shareholder attitude that you know, changes that don't take a few months, that take many years to come through. We're starting to see the early signs of that in Korea. Whether that becomes another market for them in the future on those kind of terms, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, clearly some deals are coming back now, and you're starting to see some opportunity there for them.